Hi everybody, welcome to week 10. So there is a lot to cover for this week, although your assignments for this week really aren't too bad. So the first assignment that you're going to need to work on is the quiz. The quiz this week is on a reading assignment that we actually did more toward the beginning of the course, but I'm asking you to review just 4 pages, pages 532 through 536 on logical fallacies. It's really important that you be familiar with logical fallacies because, first of all, they're everywhere, and second of all, you want to avoid them in your paper. Now, why would they be everywhere? I mean, they really undermine the credibility of an argument when you spot them, but that's the trick. It's can you spot them? And unfortunately, when we tend to agree with a message, it's very easy to overlook or to miss the logical fallacies. Jane Austen, one of my favorite writers, says, "How quickly come the reasons for approving what we like." And when we like something, it is really easy to kind of look over problems in reasoning. To that end, I've given you an extra credit assignment worth 5 points for this week. It's completely optional. You can do it and get extra credit or not and not receive extra credit. It's going to be due no later than Monday of week 11. So there's that. The quiz, an extra credit assignment, and then your reading journal is going to ask you to carefully evaluate one of the readings in chapter 7. Now, a lot of you have been asking me about sources. Yes, you do need library sources for this essay. Several of you have emailed me saying that you're struggling to find sources. I've tried to email you back and give you sources that I found. A large matter of knowing how to search for sources through the library's database is knowing which search terms to use. Also, remember that you can use library resources to provide context, to help you flesh out your introduction, to do a range of things for your paper. Later on in the week, I'm going to be posting my sample outline for my paper, along with some handouts to help you decide what's really going to be the best way to structure your essay. Because for an argument essay, structure and audience are related. If you think you have an audience who's going to be very hostile to your argument, you want to put the counter arguments first. Normally, you wouldn't do that, though. I had a professor when I was an undergraduate student who was a specialist in the psychology and sociology of the courtroom, and he asked the class, if you get a choice, what should you do? Present your argument first or present your argument last? Now, your gut might say, oh, go last, best for last, whatever. But actually, people remember and tend to find more credible what they hear first. So if you have an audience who's going to be ambivalent or even maybe a little receptive to your argument, you always want to place your strongest reasons, your strongest arguments first. So I'll be posting that handout along with my own outline later in the week for you to review. This isn't an assignment for the week per se, but really by the end of this week you should have at least an outline of your paper, if not getting started on a draft. All right, everybody, I think that's everything that I wanted to cover for this week. I've also posted some citation helps in this week, including links to MLA format. One thing you should know is that the MLA is now in its 8th edition, but a lot of the library databases are still using the 7th because they haven't done their updates yet. So for the purposes of this paper, it's all right for you to use 7th or 8th edition. That's fine. The citation help websites that I've given you are current. One is through the Chaffee Library. The other is through a wonderful resource called the Purdue Online Writing Lab, the OWL. So, and of course, email me if you have questions. If you're struggling to find sources, if you have a question about how to cite something, shoot me an email. I would be happy to help you. That's especially true if you're having trouble finding sources. Okay, everyone, I think that's all for this week. Be looking for my outline and sample outline guides a little later on. Thanks, bye.